What if you could build an app that just gets you, kind of like a real human assistant? That's what we're talking about today. We're going to be dissecting this project called WhisperDo, and look, it's a to-do app on the surface, but it's so much more than just a list. It's really a blueprint for what the future of AI-powered software is going to look like. So let's get under the hood and see what makes it tick.
Listen to that tagline. Just whisper your tasks and watch them happen. It sounds so simple, right? Almost magical. But as you can probably guess, turning a simple whisper into a done deal, well, that takes a really complex but super elegant system working behind the scenes. And that's where the real magic is, That's what we're going to pull back the curtain on.
So how does a simple spoken command actually travel through the digital world to become a checked-off item on your list? That's the big question. We're going to follow one single command on its entire journey, from your lips to the database and back again, just to find out.
All right, let's start with the foundation. And honestly, this might be the single most important lesson from this whole project. And the crazy part? It has nothing to do with AI, not at first. You just can't sprinkle some AI magic dust on a flimsy app and hope for the best. It just doesn't work that way. WhisperDo, it was first built as a rock-solid, totally complete, feature-packed application. The foundation had to be there from day one.
And we're not talking about some flimsy prototype here. This thing had full-on user authentication, really robust task management, what developers call CRUD operations, and even a real-time analytics dashboard. In short, it was a totally production-ready product before the AI even showed up to the party. This is such a crucial step, and one that a lot of AI projects seem to miss. And the technology powering it all? Well, it's a modern, powerful, and really well-respected stack. You've got Next.js on the front end, Fast API on the back end. For anyone who knows their stuff, this setup just screams stability, scalability, and security. The essential pillars you need for any great application.
Okay, so with that solid foundation firmly in place, it was finally time to add the magic. This is where we see the leap from a traditional point-and-click web app to something you can actually talk to, an application that really understands you.
And this really nails the difference, doesn't it? The old way, that's been our life for years, right? Clicking through endless menus, filling out form after form. We've all been there. But the new way, that's a total game changer. Think about it. Instead of us having to learn how the software thinks, the software learns how we think. It adapts to us and it understands just normal, everyday language.
So what exactly is in this superpower cocktail? Well, the brain of the operation is Google's Gemini 2.5 Flash model. But the magic is also in all the little details, right? Things like real-time streaming, which gives you that cool, dynamic, word-by-word response you see in chatbots. And a persistent conversation history, so you can pick up a thought right where you left off without starting over.
Now, let's get to the heart of it. We're going to trace a single command from the moment it's spoken to the moment the task is actually created. This is where we demystify the magic and reveal the really elegant engineering that makes it all possible.
So our command's journey has 4 key stops. It all starts with the user's voice. Then it travels through this clever 3-server setup, gets handed off to the AI brain, and finally, the AI uses a very specific set of tools to get the job done. So let's follow the path. And here's our example command. Remind me to call mom tonight. It's simple, it's human, it's something we've all probably said 1,000 times. The system's first and most critical job is to understand the intent behind these words, not just what was said, but what you actually want to do. So where does that command actually go? It takes a trip through this really clever 3-server setup. Let's break it down with an analogy. The front end, that's like the storefront. It's where you walk in and make your request. The back-end API is the main office, the manager who figures out what you need. But for a special request like this, a conversational one, the manager doesn't do it themselves. No, they send you to the specialist workshop out back, and that's the MCP server. That's where all the AI tools are. And this is a really key design choice here. The main office, that main back end, it knows this isn't a standard data request. It's a job for a specialist. So its most important job is to intelligently route that conversational command over to the AI agent, which is powered by Gemini. Okay, and this is the brilliant part. This is the aha moment. The AI agent gets that phrase, remind me to call mom tonight. It doesn't just see words, it understands the intent, right? It knows you want to create a task. So what does it do? It looks at its toolbox, sees all the tools it has, and it picks up the perfect one for the job, in this case, the Add Task tool. Then, boom, it executes the command. This right here, this is the bridge from just understanding language to actually doing something with it. So that whole flow, as elegant as it is pretty complex to build. So how on earth did the developers manage to build it without getting completely lost in the weeds? Well, they used a really disciplined and powerful methodology. It's called spec-driven development. And the core idea is simple, but it's also kind of revolutionary. Plan first, code second. Before you write a single line of code, you create a super detailed blueprint of exactly what the software needs to do, all from the user's perspective. This makes sure every single feature has a clear and defined purpose.
This very structured process takes you from the highest level principles, like what are we even trying to build here, all the way down to individual lines of code. It basically guarantees that everything that gets built is directly serving a purpose that was defined in that original plan. It's all about building with intention.
So what does a project like WhisperDo really mean for the bigger picture? I mean, it's more than just a clever to-do list. It's really a window into a fundamental shift in how we're all going to interact with software in the future.
So that architecture we just walked through, a solid app foundation with a specialized AI agent that has its own little toolbox, that could very well become the new normal, the new standard for building software. And that leads to a pretty wild question, doesn't it? Are we about to enter a future where basically every single app we use has its own smart conversational assistant? When you look at a blueprint like this one, will that future feel like it might be getting here a lot sooner than we think?